Hello everyone! Today we journey into one of the oldest and most captivating mysteries of human history, the legend of Atlantis. For thousands of years, people have spoken of this lost civilization, a land of immense power, wealth, and knowledge, swallowed by the sea in a single catastrophic event. Some say it was only a myth, a story told by the philosopher Plato to teach a moral lesson. Others believe Atlantis was real, a thriving civilization that once existed and was destroyed by natural disaster. Its fate remains one of the greatest mysteries of all time, blending history, myth, and speculation into a story that still fascinates us today. The story of Atlantis begins in ancient Greece around 360 BC. Plato, the great philosopher, wrote about Atlantis in two of his dialogues, the Timaeus and the Critias. He described it as a mighty island nation beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. Atlantis, according to Plato, was larger than Libya and Asia combined, a powerful naval empire that sought to conquer the Mediterranean world. But its arrogance and greed angered the gods, and in a single day and night of misfortune, Atlantis sank beneath the ocean. What makes Plato's account so intriguing is the detail he provides. He describes Atlantis as a highly advanced society, with magnificent palaces, temples, canals, and harbors. The capital city was said to be made of concentric rings of land and water, a marvel of engineering. The Atlanteans possessed great wealth, mined precious metals, and harnessed natural resources in ways that seemed far ahead of their time. But as their power grew, so did their corruption, and they fell out of favor with the divine order. Was Plato recording history, or was he inventing an allegory? Scholars have debated this for centuries. Some argue that Atlantis was purely symbolic, a story meant to illustrate the dangers of hubris and moral decline. Others believe he may have based it on older tales passed down from Egypt or Mesopotamia, stories of floods and lost lands remembered in ancient myth. The search for Atlantis has taken explorers and dreamers across the globe. Many believe the story refers to the island of Santorini, also known as Thera, in the Aegean Sea. Around 1600 BC, the island was devastated by one of the largest volcanic eruptions in history. The eruption destroyed the Minoan civilization, which was advanced and seafaring, much like Plato's description. Could this be the true Atlantis? Some think so, though Santorini does not fit all of Plato's details. Others look to the Atlantic Ocean itself. Could Atlantis have been a real island that sank somewhere between Europe, Africa, and the Americas? Ancient maps, strange ruins, and underwater formations have fueled speculation. Off the coast of the Bahamas lies the so-called Bimini Road, a series of underwater stone structures that some claim are remnants of Atlantis, yet most scientists believe they are natural formations. The legend has also been tied to the Mediterranean, the Azores, the Canary Islands, and even Antarctica. Each theory has passionate supporters who argue that their chosen location matches Plato's story. Yet none has been proven beyond doubt. Beyond archaeology, Atlantis has become a symbol. To some, it represents the possibility of a lost golden age, a civilization more advanced than we realize, wiped out by disaster. To others, it is a warning about pride, greed, and the consequences of turning away from virtue. And for many, it is simply a mystery, an unsolved riddle that keeps the imagination alive. The fascination with Atlantis grew during the Renaissance, when explorers set out to map the globe. The discovery of the New World sparked new theories. Could the Americas themselves have been part of the lost Atlantis? Later, in the 19th and 20th centuries, writers like Ignatius Donnelly popularized the idea that Atlantis was the source of all ancient civilizations, from Egypt to the Maya. He believed that survivors of Atlantis spread their knowledge across the world after the catastrophe. In modern times, Atlantis has become a part of popular culture. Books, films, and television shows depict it as a place of advanced technology, sometimes with connections to extraterrestrials or forgotten sciences. The legend has inspired everything from conspiracy theories to spiritual movements. But beneath all the speculation, one question remains. Was Atlantis real? Did it exist as a physical place that vanished beneath the waves? Or is it a story that lives only in myth? As we continue this story, we will explore the most compelling theories, from ancient volcanic eruptions to shifting continents, from archaeological discoveries to fringe ideas about alien intervention. We will examine why the story endures, why so many people want Atlantis to be real, and what it tells us about our longing for lost worlds. The mystery of Atlantis is not just about a city or an island. It is about human imagination, our desire to connect with forgotten history, and our fear of how fragile civilizations can be. Just as Atlantis was said to vanish in a single day and night, so too could our own world face unexpected destruction. The story is both a legend and a lesson, one that continues to echo through time. The search for Atlantis has never ended, and over the centuries, countless theories have risen and fallen. Each one attempts to explain the riddle that Plato left behind. If Atlantis was real, where was it, and what caused its destruction? Let us explore the most fascinating possibilities. The first and perhaps most convincing theory is that Atlantis was inspired by the Minoan civilization of Crete and Santorini. The Minoans were an advanced seafaring people with magnificent palaces, artwork, and trade networks that stretched across the Mediterranean. Around 1600 BCE, a massive volcanic eruption tore apart the island of Thera, today known as Santorini. The eruption produced tsunamis, ash clouds, and devastation so great that it may have contributed to the collapse of the Minoans. To many scholars, this disaster matches Plato's tale of a powerful civilization destroyed suddenly by the sea. But while the Minoans were advanced, they did not control an empire as vast as Atlantis was said to, and Thera is not beyond the Pillars of Hercules, as Plato described. Another theory places Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean itself. Early explorers believed the Azores or Canary Islands might be remnants of a sunken continent. The idea was fueled by strange rock formations, tales of islands that appeared and disappeared on old maps, and the sheer mystery of the deep ocean. Off the coast of the Bahamas, divers discovered the Bimini Road, a pathway of massive stones underwater. Some believe it is a remnant of Atlantis, though geologists generally conclude it is a natural formation. Still, the allure of a lost city beneath the Atlantic waves remains irresistible. There are also theories that Atlantis lies in the Americas. Some claim that Mayan and Aztec civilizations were founded by survivors of Atlantis who brought advanced knowledge across the ocean. In South America, ruins like those of Tiahuanaco in Bolivia and the Nazca lines of Peru have been tied to Atlantean origins. These ideas are popular in alternative history circles, though mainstream archaeologists dismiss them as speculation without evidence. Perhaps the most unusual theory is that Atlantis was located in Antarctica. In the mid-20th century, some writers suggested that shifting continents could have moved a temperate land into the icy south. Satellite images of Antarctica's mysterious shapes and subglacial lakes have inspired new waves of curiosity. While fascinating, the idea of an advanced Antarctic Atlantis remains far outside accepted science. Beyond geography, Atlantis has also been tied to legends from many cultures. Flood myths appear in traditions across the world, from the biblical Noah to Mesopotamian tales of Utnapishtim to the Indian story of Manu. Could Atlantis have been one version of a global memory of ancient floods that destroyed early civilizations? If so, then Plato's tale might not point to a single city, but to a collective memory of disasters that shaped humanity. In the 19th century, writer Ignatius Donnelly gave Atlantis new life. His 1882 book argued that Atlantis was the source of all ancient civilizations, from Egypt to India to the Americas. Though his ideas lacked evidence, they captured the public imagination and inspired generations of explorers, mystics, and dreamers. From that point on, Atlantis became not just an ancient mystery, but a cultural phenomenon. In the 20th and 21st centuries, Atlantis has appeared in countless books, films, and television shows. Sometimes it is portrayed as a utopia of advanced science, sometimes as a mystical realm with crystals and lost knowledge, and sometimes as a warning of ecological disaster. It has even been connected to extraterrestrials, with some claiming that Atlanteans were descendants of alien visitors who left behind their technology. While such ideas are far from historical truth, they reflect the deep hold the legend has on our imagination. But why does the story of Atlantis endure? Perhaps it is because it speaks to two of humanity's deepest desires, the hope for a golden age and the fear of sudden destruction. Atlantis represents the dream of a civilization greater than ours, with wisdom and knowledge long lost. At the same time, it represents the fragility of human achievement, reminding us that even the greatest societies can vanish in a single day and night. Modern science has not confirmed Atlantis, but it continues to explore the possibility of forgotten civilizations. Archaeologists are uncovering ancient cities beneath the sands, jungles, and seas, revealing that our ancestors were often more advanced than we imagined. While none of these discoveries proves Atlantis, they show that human history is full of surprises, and lost worlds may yet be found. Ultimately, the mystery of Atlantis may never be solved. Plato's account remains our only source, and it is impossible to know how much was fact, myth, or allegory. Perhaps Atlantis was based on real events, like the Minoan eruption, but reshaped into a story to teach moral lessons. Or perhaps it was entirely symbolic, a tale of human pride and divine punishment. Whatever the truth, Atlantis continues to live, not in stone ruins or underwater palaces, but in the human imagination. As we finish this journey, we are reminded that mysteries are not always about answers. Sometimes, the power of a mystery lies in its ability to inspire questions, to keep us searching, to keep us wondering. Atlantis may be lost, but in our endless fascination with it, we keep its memory alive. Whether it was myth, legend, or hidden truth, Atlantis remains the greatest lost city of all time.